if you are a crypto investor right now, you're probably pretty set. Bitcoin just hit an all-time high. It's going to go higher. Altcoins are just blowing up. Made 40% on a swing trade the other day. That honestly, it was what, a 100-day swing trade. If I would have kept it for just another 4 hours, I would have been up 70%. But you know what? I can't cry over spilled milk, look at what it could have been. I just want to win. But there are a lot of people that are about to get absolutely wrecked. This isn't doom or gloom. The fact of the matter is, most people expect things to happen right now. And it's rough. They said it was going to happen soon. It hasn't happened. Well, it's been like a week or a month or 6 months. You got to be a little bit more patient. You got to think like, I don't know, Warren Buffett or Jamie Dimon or Jeff Bezos. What do all of those guys have in common? They have been selling their stocks for the last couple of years, not trying to spook the market. And once you get to that place where you think about, you know what? Time is very linear and it takes a long time. It takes longer than most humans expect an event to happen, either a cycle going up or a cycle going down. As the economic ninja and all of you that are in my like DeFi group or real estate group, you have been preparing for what's coming for quite some time. And what's really cool about that is you've been given lots of time to prepare. I want to read these stories, but I would be remiss. Oh, first I gotta shout this out. That course I did a long time ago, Crypto Charts Joe, the Crypto Trader Pro 1.0 course. He put together a 2.0 and built a bundle, an updated course, and he said, hey, let's just blow it out. Let everybody who wants to invest in crypto and learn how to be a day trader, a swing trader, a long-term investor, have both courses for $149. It's only good for another day. Links down below. All right. I would be remiss I want to remind people that the more time you have to prepare and set money aside and prepare for something, let me give an example. I've been buying silver hand over fist from the $14. I mean, I've actually been buying 11 too, but since I started the channel, $14 an ounce until it hit 20. And then I said, all right, I'm done buying silver, right? It's not that I don't love silver. It's my favorite investment ever. But I said, now I'm going to focus on cryptos because cryptos were in a down season, right? A bear market. And so then I started to accumulate cryptos. At that point, silver started rising. I didn't buy more silver FOMOing in, all right? I'm like, all right, I'm done. And silver's about to hit $40 an ounce, right? It's like 39 and change right now. Type silver if you own silver. I love that, right? But I like to buy things when they're depressed, okay? Now, I have just about completed all of my crypto purchases. Why? Because we're out of the bear market. We are in a bull market that's been confirmed by Bitcoin is rising, right? And what I was doing as Bitcoin was rising, I was buying altcoins at stupid low prices. Now, it always blows my mind because 9 out of 10 investors just don't get it. Let me shut this door. They just don't get it. They sit there and they go, Ninja, you told me about this coin and it's down. I'm like, yeah, I know. This is the time we should be buying. Buy more. But whatever. None of this is financial advice, by the way. I'm just doing the bro hawk in a freaking dream. This is literally what the bro hawk. I just literally rolled out of bed. I've had like 4 sips of coffee. I'm out of breath. It's because I'm so darn excited. So this is the warning from JP Morgan. And again, it's not going to sound like a warning. It's not, but it should be, because most people don't understand how economics works, how economies evolve, how markets evolve. Check this out. It's out of Business Insider. Retail investors will lead a $500 billion buying spree that could send stocks soaring through the year end, JP Morgan says. You're like, that sounds like good news. Stand by. I'm going to show you why it's not. A rush of investor cash is headed for the stock market in the second half. Most of it is coming from retail investors. That's according to JP Morgan, which predicted this week that investors are poised to inject $500 billion into stocks through the rest of 2025, and most of that will come from retail traders. Led by retail investors, we envision an equity buying flow to close of close to $500 billion for the remainder of the year, which would be enough to propagate equities by another, equities by another 5 to 10% into year end, analysts wrote in a note on Wednesday.
JP Morgan estimates that retail traders have purchased a net $270 billion worth of stocks so far this year, with investors buying assets at a particularly aggressive pace for the first 4 months. So this is where the warning comes in. Did you hear them anytime during that little bit that I read talk about institutions buying? Talk about other countries buying? No, they're talking about retail. Retail is always the last group of investors to move into a sector. Why? Because retail investors are dumb. Type 1 if you're offended by that. Type 2 if you're like, Ninja knows what he's talking about. And it's true. The Ninja is right, because the Ninja's been an investor since like 1998. Yes, I know. I could have been an older timer and been involved since like 1996. But, you know, I was just a young adolescent lad back then. The truth is, retail investors are dumb, and the one thing that they are other than dumb is emotional. And that's when you see people lose their ever-loving minds. Now, the stock market's gone up primarily due to people having a lack of yield because of an inflation wave that struck us, smacked us in the face about 3 years ago, started 3 years ago, right? So they were chasing yield. So that's why we saw outflows from the bond market, and that's why rates went up. And it wasn't just the Fed. Please understand, the Fed only runs one interest rate, and it does affect others with a time lag involved, but it was because of the outflows of the bond market. They were pushing money into the stock market because they knew they could get more yield or chase a better, they had a better, jeez. Oh, there you go. They had a better chance of getting better yield, all right, in the stock market than the bond market. So it went up, and it's going to keep going up a little bit, but what's happening is retail always moves in slow. And last, they get stupid emotional, and they're going to get wrecked. What kind of retail investors can make a ton of money in stocks? Really? Altcoin season is just about to start. Bitcoin dominance is still there, but it's starting to wane. And it will. I think you're going to see Bitcoin, honestly, between 120 and 150 in the next 8 weeks. That's not financial advice. Okay, don't rush out and buy a bunch of Bitcoin because of what I said. All right. See, I'm not out buying more Bitcoin. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty much done buying a bunch of altcoins because I put a boatload of money in at much lower prices, and now they're all just going up, and now I'm trading in between those. Okay, I'm taking my winners, taking profit off, going into my lower ones, and I can't call them losers because all of the cryptos I own, they have value propositions. Okay, I've done my due diligence on them, and I go, hey, I believe this crypto project can do well because of this, and this reason. All right, it's not just me going and throwing a dart at a wall. I've been investing in crypto since what, January, February of 2017. I've told people I made my first million. I turned 10,000 into a million in 2017. It was euphoric. I'm like, holy cow, I've just, hit the mother load. And now I'm about to launch through a company I'm invested in that I own a part of, a token that is it's already blowing my mind. It has an incredible use case. But here's the thing. The truth is, all of these companies can fail, but there's one thing that's not going to fail, is a wave of retail buying. See, as the retail investors dive into stocks, what they're also doing is they're going to be buying Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin, and Solana ETFs, right? That's going to push mainnet coins in crypto higher. Okay, we're seeing it in Bitcoin right now. We're seeing it in Ethereum. We just saw, like, what was it? A record-setting day, yesterday or the day before, in inflows of money from Wall Street into crypto ETFs. Okay, that's why the prices are going up. Now, when those prices start to wane, and they will, because the euphoria of people buying up Ethereum and buying up Bitcoin starts to wane because they're like, oh my gosh, it's so exciting. But at the same time they're looking at those coins, they're looking at these altcoins, and they're like, ooh, look at how much profit I made compared to over there. Those altcoins are really popping. Like yesterday, I told you guys about, I did a post on X, like, 36 hours ago or something like that. I said, hey, I got a really weird feeling that XCN will be in the top 10 trending cryptocurrencies in the next 24 hours. Just threw that out there, right? Got a lot of love, and I got 2% of hate. And the 2% were funny. It's like, this is why I stopped following you. Like, and yet here you are looking at my X page and commenting. You can't stop stupid, right? But it was funny because within 24 hours, actually on the 22-hour mark, XCN hit the top 10 list of most trending. I think it finished off at number 6, right? Meaning that it was the 6th most viewed or watched cryptocurrency on Earth yesterday. Well, the reason why is because that crypto, ETH was up, what, 6%? Whereas XCN yesterday was up like 21, 22%. Okay. So what's going to happen is all of these investors that are buying up stocks and they're also buying up these crypto ETFs, they're looking at all these altcoins. They're going to eventually, as the price of Bitcoin starts to slow because there's less buying happening and we're hitting those resistance levels, those Fibonacci levels on Bitcoin and Ethereum and things like that, they're going to move into altcoins, and then people are going to lose their minds. Now, the truth is, we want to sell our altcoins to the people that are losing their minds. How do you like that for a plan? These are people, and it's sad to say, like your family and friends, but they're not your family and friends. I mean, your family and friends made fun of you. Type 10 if your family and friends think you're a nutball because how excited you are about investing. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm buying silver, I'm buying crypto, I'm buying all this stuff, and I'm not buying real estate, and everything's going great, right? Is that you? Yeah, okay, type 10. So a lot of people got those nutball family and friends. Okay, so you're not going to sell your crypto at the top to your family and friends. You're going to sell it to someone else's family and friends. That's just how it's going to work. It's called retail investors. They're going to lose their ever-loving minds. And just like the other day when I sold a crypto, I bought Omni a while back, and I sold it like 100 days ago, and I sold it at a 40% profit the other day. It popped up another 30% above that, right? But now it's back to what I sold it at, and it's going to drop again. And then I'm going to rebuy it, and I'm going to do it all over again. Wash, rinse, repeat. And at a certain point, you're going to get so good at this stuff. You're going to learn how to trade. You're going to learn how to invest with a sound mind, right? We're not out there chasing silver right now. I put it out on X. I said, I believe that you're going to see a $35 silver price when Bitcoin hits 150 grand. And a lot of people are like, hey, Ninja, silver's about 40 bucks. I'm like, don't care. I think you're going to see it at 35 bucks when Bitcoin hits 150 grand. I don't know what to tell you. So what a prediction's called. And so when that happens, if it happens, I'm going to be moving a chunk of, like 90% of my Bitcoin into silver. And I think there's thousands and thousands of people around the world that are about to do it too. And they're all stupid rich. What do you think that's going to do to the COMEX? But it's going to happen. And the thing is these are these cycles that we've got to maintain. We got to just chill and go, hey, it's not about how much money we can make tomorrow. It's about how much we can own next year, next 5 years, next 10 years. The retail investors get totally smashed. And that's why I brought you that story from JP Morgan. I hope you got something out of this. If you want to learn trading techniques for cryptocurrency, this is by far, the price is never going to happen again. I promise you that. The Crypto Trader 1.0 and 2.0 with Crypto Trucks Joe and myself, that link is down below. I think Dylan's in there too, teaching some lessons if I remember right. But anyway, it's a bundle for 149 bucks. Go check it out. Hopefully you got something out of this. The Economic Ninja is out. Ew, let's do this.